Morning, Dan.
Morning.
Morning.
All right, so you brought friends. Who'd you bring with you this morning?
You want to introduce yourselves?
Mustafa Hassan, number 1.
Nasiba B.
Mohammed Kabot.
Okay. And so, guys, first off, thanks for dropping by this morning, especially. Now, do I need to send a note to the front office saying it's okay for them to be out of class for 15 minutes? Because I don't want to get anybody in trouble now.
No, I've got passes that I'm going to fill out for them.
Okay, so I guess let me go with Coach with you first. First off, thanks for doing this, especially on a Friday morning. Have you had a chance? Has it sunk in all of this with the whirlwind? All of folks like me reaching out to sit here and say, congratulations and all this kind of stuff. Has it sunk in yet that you were able to accomplish all of this with everything going on around you in the town?
Yeah, like I said before, I don't think our feet have touched the ground. We're flying pretty high, and I was just telling these guys that walking into school this morning, I actually had a second to think and look around, and it was just like, wow, we're really state champs, and it feels really good to see these guys accomplish the goal that they set when they were little guys, and they've always had this dream, and they've been through the battles, their freshman, sophomore, junior year, not, getting what they wanted done. And we were just talking before we got on, like they just peaked at the right time. And, it's not always how you start, it's how you finish. And, these guys were just a great team.
Fourth state title, 15, 17, and 18 from the run that you guys had there. And I'm just going to turn this into a party line. Anybody who wants to answer the question can answer the question. What has it been like for those of us who, might have been watching the news over the last couple of weeks and seeing how things have gone there in Lewiston? What has it been like to be able to get together and come together the way that you guys have, as once again representing the community that you've always been? What's it been like to come together in a moment like this and come out with a state championship and give the folks something to think about? Anybody? Anyone?
It's been crazy, to be honest. I still can't believe it. But when we won, like one of the fans, a friend came up to me and said he finally did it. And that really raise my spirits.
What's it like to have everybody kind of look at the team as almost like a focal point to have spirits raised? What's it like to be able to do that for a town like Lewiston?
It feels amazing because when you're on the field, I felt like we were playing for them, and when we would score, you could hear the fans going crazy. And we would make jokes about how we couldn't hear our coaches on the field because how loud it was. And yeah, it was amazing to make them happy.
And one of the things and I'll recommend the book that One Goal that was put out a couple of years ago about the whole soccer community there. And it's a bunch of different nationalities coming together under one roof, and that's what we like to talk about with the sport of soccer, where it doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what your house looks like, doesn't matter what car you drive. You all come together, and you're right there as 11, and then whoever else is there for the starting 18. You get to come together toward a common goal. What's it like to have all of these different ideas and angles and nationalities and backgrounds come together to get that goal at the same time?
You want me to go? I can, just because, we have, kids from Angola, Kenya, Somalia, and, kids that, are French Canadian here. And it's just, when they get on the field, they're brothers. And, we had a kid, Tegra Mabele, that played striker for us and a little bit of midfield, and his brother Mishi. We would have, kids translate, like Pedro would be on the sidelines just helping us communicate I don't know what we wanted him to do, whether it's, sending a through ball on the ground or, a deep line ball. We wanted to keep it low and away from the keeper, and are just transitioning and, defending. And guys just helped each other on the field. And these guys, it doesn't matter, where you're from, like you said. They all had one common goal, and, that they all loved each other. And, you have ups and downs in a season, you have ups and downs in games, and, it's just special because they all did it together. And we talked about it. We played at Camden one of our first games, and we won 4-2. And these guys know, and we show the world how we should treat each other and how we should get along.
And, Coach, you mentioned all of that. And, sadly, there are times where we have to grow up too soon. And you were surrounded by a roster that had to grow up too soon, part of a high school that had to grow up too soon, part of a town that had to grow up too soon. What's it been like to see all of these young men and students and student athletes face this kind of a challenge of growing up too soon and respond the way that they have, both on the field and off?
Yeah, you hear about mass shootings around the country, and you always think, that's never going to happen here. And it makes me sad that these guys had to, live through it. And, we go from an overtime win to making sure we all know where each other are at, and making sure we're getting home okay, and, shelter in place orders. And, it's kind of heartbreaking. The innocence is gone. And there's a lot of mourning. We were just talking about, I have pictures in my office of former teams, and, we get one of the victims, his son played for us, and, we were sad for him. And, but these guys, they showed a lot of maturity. They really did. We couldn't practice for several days. And, despite we had like 30 something law enforcement agencies and 4 National Guard helicopters, I will not name anybody here, that might have snuck onto the field and got some extra passes. But nothing was going to keep them away. But, I think about when I was their age, I did the same thing. I would sneak into the gym or get onto the pitch and kick around maybe when I wasn't supposed to. And, but it was all innocent. And I think it was a good stress relief for them to be together. And we finally got together on, that Monday, and it was nice, to be back together.
Lewiston wins a high school title in Maine. Dan Gish, the head coach, and a couple of players hanging out with us here on the morning show. So, guys, let me ask you this. Mustafa, Mo, Nej, let me ask you this. Are you guys closer now than you were maybe even a month ago because of what's been going on there in the community, both on the field and off?
We've always been close. So, yeah, it kind of brought us a little bit closer. You
guys are never this quiet.
No, I think definitely brought us closer because it's more like we're holding each other's hands. After that happens, like everyone's checking in on each other. So now we do that more like consistently, even though the soccer season's over, because you never know what's gonna happen. So I think that's good.
All right, so let me take the tour here for those that don't know the squad, and you guys can shout out your answers. But literally, we can turn this into just like everybody jump in, and I'll count down, and then you can tell me who it is and why, and then you can explain your answer. Funniest guy on the team in 3, 2, 1, go.
Cabal. That's unanimous.
And of course, he's the one who's ducking his head in the back. Like, that ain't me, man. I don't know. All right. So why is he the funniest? And everybody just go ahead and say things, because I'm sure he's just going to sit here and go like this.
He's just always laughing. You will bring the guys in for a huddle, and then I just always see Gabo like his shoulders shaking. He's laughing about something, or Nassib's laughing at Gabo, or Mustafa's laughing, and I'm like, guys, we got to get through this. But they're just good kids. They're just being kids and they're having fun. So it's pretty fun.
All right, so we now know who the class clown is and who the funniest guy is. Who's the most serious one when it comes to doing stuff on the field for a game day? In 3, 2, 1, go.
Mustafa.
Shakur.
Okay.
I agree with both of those. Yeah.
All right. Why?
Oh, just the way they got their game face on when they walk into the locker room. It's and I think Nassib is like that too. It's their business. They know what they need to do. That they're seasoned players, and they've been in high pressure games before, and they know what preparation means and how to get your body physically and mentally ready, and making sure their team. They lead by example. They really do. They might not have to say anything. You just look at them, and they're ready.
Okay, so let me ask the four of you this: do you carry yourselves differently now? Do you, after the last couple of weeks, winning a championship plus what happened there in Lewiston, do you carry yourselves differently? Are you more serious? Do you look out for folks a little more? Do you not take life, as much for granted as you might have before? Do you look at how differently do you look at things now after what's been going on the field and off for the last 3 weeks?
I look at things like a lot differently, because after what happened, like I couldn't imagine that being like one of my friends. I wouldn't know what to do. So now I like check up on them more like on a daily basis. And like I see the like younger guys like in elementary school and things looking at us saying like, well, hopefully one day they want to be like us. So that's pretty cool too.
And of course, Gabo, he's back there like,
he's chilling. He's thinking in his head.
I know. He's going to come up with a big answer here in a bit.
Well, he came up with some big goals. I can tell you that. He lets his play lets his play do his talking.
No doubt. Mustafa, do you carry yourself a little differently now?
Yeah, I take things more serious. And when it first happened, my mom called me, and we were going to the Mount Airai game, and she didn't know if I was like a victim or not. So I didn't know what was happening, so I declined the call because I was driving, and then after I heard what happened, and then I checked up on her, and yeah, I check up on my people more.
What about you, Dan?
Oh yeah, you just realize it puts things in your priorities in perspective. When you lose that many people in a senseless act of violence, and you're asking yourself why, and you and your family are okay, but that there are other people that are not, especially the ones that lost somebody. And then you got to think about people that are EMTs, like a former player that these guys know. He's an EMT, and firefighters and police officers, the things that they must have seen. I know for me, I don't get upset about some of the trivial things that you might used to be, that used to upset you, and in the end, these guys are great kids, and they're maturing, and they're going to give back. And I know they'll never forget it, because I know they realize it, but years down the road, they'll realize how big of an impact and how much it helped the community, what they did. And this will be a championship I will never forget.
No doubt about it. Guys, Coach, thanks for hanging out with us first thing on a Friday morning, and blame the guy in Atlanta if you're late for class. That's all you got to do. Just sit there and say, look, I was doing an interview and I blame him, and you can just sit there. Here's the email and here's the video proof. Guys, just know that a lot of folks open out their arms as wide as possible and, fully embrace you guys. We love you all very much, and, just keep the path going. Congratulations on the title and experiencing everything that you guys have the last couple of weeks. Just know that we're all thinking about you, and we love you very much. And thanks for coming on a Friday morning.
Thank you.
Thank
We
you.
love you guys too. You just got to spread the love. We need more of that.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch up soon. Go to class or not. Just hide in the back room. Be good. We'll see you soon.